Good evening, tutor. My name is Jimmy Roajo. This is the task number 4. Well, the first part, I'm going to talk about the importance of the assessment. I think the assessment is a very important part of the process of teaching and learning. I think it's the way that we can be sure that all what we are explaining is clear and the students are having good results in their process. About the video that I watched, I think that there was something really interesting that the teacher said, and it is that the assessment is important not only for the students, but it's also is important as well for us as the teachers, because we can see if the process is going well, and if maybe when you see that many students are not understanding, so you have the chance to maybe change something in the way that you are teaching, maybe in your methodology, or you have to try to explain the things in a different way. Another important thing about the assessment is that I try always to say to my students that the real importance of the assessment is not the grade, because sometimes uh, they think that only the assessment is for a grade, for a number, but this is not. I always tell my students the important part of an assessment is to know what are the problems that we have, what are the problems that they have, what are the things that are not clear for them. When they identify the mistakes and the blanks that they have, so we can work on them and double check those mistakes. So it's a very, very important part of the process, the assessment. Okay, on the other hand, the second part, I'm going to talk about the specific case of the teachers Rahul and Priya that are checking this text. Well, in the strengths, the teacher Rahul corrects the mistakes. When he finds the mistake, immediately he writes the word, and I think that is very clear, very concrete for children. And he uses different colors. He has uh, one color to check the mistake, another to correct him. So that is, I think, that is very positive. And also the message that he made in the feedback, I think, is very personal. So that is good. In his weakness, I have to say that the problem is the time, because when you do that, you correct the mistake, you write the correct word. It's good, but it's not practical. It takes a lot of time. About the teacher Priya, her strength is that when she writes only if the mistake is grammar or spelling, is very practical, especially if you're working with adults. But if you are working with children, maybe it's not. So it's practical for adults. I like the message that she puts at the end when they said good work, and also the sticker. I think is a good motivation for the student. But on the other hand, on her weaknesses, I think, as I said before, if this is for kids, it's not good to talk about grammar, no? To refer to the mistakes in grammar terms is not a good idea. And also, the feedback is very squared. The advice that I give to Rahul is to be more practical, to try to be more practical because of the time. And Priya is, if you are working with children, don't use the grammar terms. In the mistake about play a ball, they didn't check the mistake. I suppose the reason is because the message is understandable, so it's not necessary to be corrected. If I were the teacher in that class, I would focus in spelling, because that also includes the capital letters and is important for children, and not focus on the grammar, I think. When I have my activities, when I correct my writing activities, I try to pay attention to everything as they did, in grammar things, in spelling, in everything. And one thing that I do is, when I work with adults, I like that they find their own mistakes. I just check the place where the mistake is, and they have to find what the mistake is. Thank you very much.